Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. And I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I wanted to discuss about the timings when to start a family and career. Um, a lot of people, like, when is the right age to start a family? Um, a lot of people, especially ladies, I see them, they build their careers from as soon as they finish university. They start building their careers, going up the ladder in the careers, and make it really to the top. Not fully to the top, but they are high up there in terms of careers, and they're earning a lot of money. And then they start having children, and then few years later they might have two, three, four, and then a few years later they find it hard to juggle everything, to balance, raising little children and working full time. And in some cases, if you're if you are in some cases, if you can't get flexibility in your workplace and you have small children to look after, um it can be really hard. So I see some ladies, actually, they've built their careers and they're making good money, but they've started to have children and the children are still small, so they quit. They literally just leave their jobs. They leave the jobs that they've worked so hard for so many years building, trying to get somewhere in a career ladder. And now that they've got small children to look after, they find it difficult, so they stop working, they quit. Some of them, their children are like in their teenage years, and you see them saying their children need them, so they're leaving their careers. I've seen this in women, and so it just leaves you thinking, wow, you know how can you have worked, like, it raises a lot of questions. Like, you've worked so hard, you've studied so hard your whole life, and now you are in debt, university debt, for studying. And then you start working from bottom, and you work so hard and build your career all the way to the top and earn so much money, and now you get married, have children, and decide you're gonna be a stay-at-home mom. You leave your job. So you're thinking, they're leaving the job. They're saying the children need them. The children are still young, and they need more time from the pet, from at least the mother. um and it's crazy. And you're thinking, mm, was it worth going through all the hardship just for the sake of getting a top career, and then just leave it when you have kids? Or when do you start a career? Do you start a family? You obviously, you're gonna have to make money, because no one can live on zero money. And that would be great if people could just live on no money at all. But you're gonna have to make money somehow. But is it worth building your career first and then have children and then quitting your job to raise the children, or raise them first, and then when you feel like they are at a point where um you could actually go back to work and get back into the working game, then go back to work when the demand at home is not as high? I mean, where do you start? Like, how do you do it? Obviously, for everyone, every family is different, but it's just observations that I've seen. um it is funny. I've asked few people this question, and some people say, that's an interesting question. Like, when do you start having children? Building a career first, then have children, because it makes sense. If you build a career first and make it to the top and obviously earn a lot of money, then you have money for your family before you start having children. Then at least you can save as much as you can. If your plan is to have children and then to quit and become a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, then both of you, before you have children, could just build your careers first, study hard, work hard, build your careers, get to the top, make as much money as you can, save as much as you can, and I don't know, invest in business or something, but make sure you have a lot of money because both of you have are earning a lot. So then save and then get to a point where you decide to have children, one or two, depending, and then just then quit if that's your plan, because at least you have some money, and then maybe not quit 100%, but like work part-time in a completely different job, because if you can't get flexibility in your top paying job, then you could work somewhere else in lower pay, and then work part-time so you can have more time for your family, because you also have savings from your top paying careers. Or just get normal jobs where you're not getting paid a lot, and then start a family, raise the kids, and then when you get to a point where you can now start building your career because family demand is not as high anymore, then start building your career, because at that point there's no, they won't have to stop really, because you're gonna have more time now to focus on working and building your career and so on. So for people who build their careers in a late age and have focused on raising children first, so their younger age, they are raising the children and putting careers on hold. Um, Obviously, they've given the children the youth really. So when you're young, you're still strong. You're stronger, you're healthier, you are energetic, and so you have all that energy for your children, because it is physically demanding as well as emotionally and financially, all that. So when you're young and you still have all that energy, you're raising your children, I think it's great. And then when you're having children at younger age, your body is still young, is still stronger, healthier. So if you look at it that, and in that sense, uh, giving your children more time when they're young, and then putting your career on hold, you're looking at it that way. It feels like it makes sense, because obviously your children are very important to you. Children, you got to look after them, um, and they come first always. Children come first always. So it makes sense in that sense. Or you can try and do it all. Have a top career and raise small children at the same time, and try to juggle everything and try to balance everything, in which case you're gonna need help, because it's impossible for only two people, the mother and father, to raise more than two children or more than three children. Even one is hard work to do all that by themselves. That's just two people, so you're gonna need help, help that you can from people you can trust, around your children, people that are really trustworthy and safe. um yeah, so again, this raises a point where, when they say you can do it all, you know you can do it all, you can do everything, you can achieve everything all at the same time. um um I think that's difficult to actually, when you say you can do it all, because how can one person or two people do it all? Yeah, there's so many aspects in life that so many achievements that people want to achieve. You want to get ahead in your career. You want to and you want to be really good at your career. You want to give your 100% to your career. You want to raise children. You want to give your 100% to your children. You want to get married and give your marriage your 100%. You want to be a good friend and give your 100% to that. a good child and be give you 100% to your parents, good siblings, a good sibling and give you 100% to that. Like, how can you? And you want to be a great person in the community as well. So, and give you 100% to that. So how can you do it all? Like, you can't do it all. You're only one person. That, I think that's impossible to achieve. Maybe you can do it all, but not at the same time. So you can take time to do one thing and then do the next when you one thing is done and finished, and then do the other. But anyway, let's not get into that just yet. My point was, when do you decide to start a family? And because Korea, you're gonna have to work anyway, whether with work, you're gonna have to work because you're gonna have to make money. But when do you start having children? And then once you have them, how do you juggle everything? Like, so like, going back to the women who have had to quit their jobs because they've realized these top careers that they worked so hard for so many years to build and all that, and then, they are really in the positions, they are respected because they're in high positions, in a career. They're respected, they are making good money. Obviously they can afford a lot of things that are expensive, but they quit. They literally just left the jobs, they quit the careers, and they said, no, I'm going to be a stay at home mom. I'm going to look after my children. I'm going to have more time with my children. I'm going to be able to do this for my children. Like, all those things that they really want to do with the children, but they never have time to do with them. And if they're feeling so much mom guilt, a lot of mom guilt every day. And I think that was the drive that made them quit their jobs. And of course, you can't just quit your job. They were able to quit their jobs because they could afford to quit their jobs. Not everyone can afford, to just do that. But I guess because obviously they were making a lot of money, they could afford to quit their jobs because they were able to save a lot of money to do that, which is really good for them. Um, but and then you're thinking, wow, you did all this, you worked so hard in your career just to quit it, just to leave it. It makes sense to do that. The reasons why the quitting to look after the children is a great reason. It's for your children. Like, they must come first. If you can afford to do that, it's amazing. Lucky children, really. Um, but if you can't afford to do that, then for those who really want to do that, it's sad. It's really sad for them. But yeah, so I don't know. It's just, I think it depends on each person. So some of the ladies, like I said, some of the ladies that I asked, how would you do it? Like, some of them said, I would save money. I would work hard, make so much money, save as much as possible, live a normal, ordinary life. Don't buy expensive things, and just save as much as I can, and then have kids, and then quit. That's how I would do it. And then others said, um, I would just be a stay at home straight away. Stay at home mom straight away. As soon as I have kids, I'll work first. But as soon as I get married, and as soon as I start having children after getting married, I'll make sure my husband works so hard, and I'll just quit my job and be a stay at home mom. But then and then when you think about it, being a stay at home mom is so hard. It's not easy. It's not for the fainted heart. It's because there's a lot involved. Because if your husband is always working and you don't, he barely has time to be home to help you, and basically everything falls on you, they stay at home parents. It's really hard having to do everything with the kids, taking them to school, doing this. If raising children is not a job for one person only. It's a job for a whole more people than just one or two people. But only obviously people that are trusted. to be around the children. Yeah, so it's really hard for the stay-at-home parents to do it all. And because and then it's not good because you're the only parents, looking after the kids, right, trying to do this and that for them. You're not doing a good job, because doing a good job, being the best parent you can, is a huge job, and it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of time, a lot of everything, a lot of money. Yeah, so stay-at-home parents have it hard, and working parents have it hard as well. So yeah, this is a very tough topic to talk about. So the question remains, when would you choose to have children? And if I mean um and if you do choose to have children, would you quit your job and be a stay-at-home parent, or would you carry on working? And would you have mom guilt or dad guilt? So that's the question for today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.